Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival, and I thought I'd start this video by giving you a view of the thrusters that I've bolted on the side of my carrier. Now this isn't the final configuration, this is just simply thrusters I've put on, because what I want to do in this video is to see if this will actually fly, because what I really want to do is go to this planet over here. I mean, I wouldn't mind, maybe we could go through an asteroid field on the way through and see what's there, or should we go direct to, I think we'll go direct to this planet. We can always come back and check the asteroid field. So I'm just going to lock that target. So that's going to be the primary objective of this video, but before that, what I want to do is talk about a couple of things. Is what I've done since the end of the last video. If you look down at the planet there, you'll see lots of flags that say done, and the reason for that is I spent about 4 or 5 hours crisscrossing this planet here, looking for rare resources like magnesium and pentaxid. And what I've also done is looted out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 capital vessels. That shows how rich that planet was for capital vessels, and that's what gave me the source of these thrusters. And the other thing, if I come in here and show you on here, well, we leave that there. You can see I've picked up 2 extra large thrusters, which is going to give us our main drive force. You can see I've got 31 medium thrusters, 17 small thrusters, and quite a big pile of other resources. Because what I've actually had to do is, if I come to the toaster, you can see I've actually had to put some of my extra resources actually into the toaster, because I just run out of space. Now the next thing I want to do is just give you a little bit of a tour of the ship. And what we're going to do is just fly in here, and there hasn't been a really big change, but if I come in here, just switch the light on, what you'll see is I've now got a full set of grow plots in here, and I've also started texturing everything up. Now these grow plots actually came from those crashed ships, so I haven't actually had to manufacture any grow plots, so that's looking good. You can see I've put some texturing in here. And if I come out here, you'll see that I've also put an armored window in here. I've put a couple of curved corner doors here to come out here. And if I take you down into the main hangar, you'll see I've started doing a little bit of texturing and tidying up here. Needs a lot more work yet before it's going to be finished. And that leads me on to the next thing I want to talk about. And this is based on a comment from Mark Peterson. He actually posted a comment saying that this is a bit of a risky exercise because of what he calls lag shots. Now, lag shots are when you come under attack. If you've got a machine that's quite old and it's a bit laggy, what actually happens is the weapons are able to pass through the blocks and hit something on the inside. So what he was saying is that if I get a lag shot come through here, it could strike inside my engine room and take it all out in one go. That's a pretty valid point. And so that's actually means I've had to rethink how I was going to build this, because my original plan was to have a SV landing up here with maybe some weapons, and then just have like a blocky type end here with an extension of the main landing deck here. But what I'm feeling now is what I probably want to do is bring this out and have an SV landing pad down the side, in fact on each side, so we're probably going to have to come out another 6-7 blocks here, and then what that will do is give me space to shape down underneath here. And what I'm thinking about is to go for some composite armor. If any of you are not sure what composite armor is, I suppose I better go do a little bit of history. Where if you live in the UK, especially in the south of the UK, there's actually a ship in the Heritage Dockyard at Portsmouth called HMS Warrior. It was built around, I think it's 1860, 1870. It was one of the first iron-hulled and armor-plated warships ever built, and it represents the transition from sail to steam. Now, one of the big features of the HMS Warrior is that it did have composite armor. That is that what it actually had was a layer of teak over a layer of iron, and the idea was the teak would act as a shock absorber, which would protect the iron from being shattered or destroyed. And that's what I'm thinking now from the perspective of this ship here. I think what we might do is create a couple of voids or something around here and then put extra layers as we bring this area out. So if we get any lag shots come through, they will hit the secondary layers. And the other advantage with that is, especially if we bring the bottom of the ship down at say another 2-3 layers, we can actually get in some gun points here, because I have been looking at the weapons for CVs, and I suppose I better show them to you. And so what we're going to do is just come here. Where's the weapons? There's the weapons. So what you can see is we've got projectile turrets, rocket turrets. I certainly want to have some rocket turrets, got some laser turrets and artillery turrets I wouldn't put on there. And what we've got here is these are player fireable weapons. There's got a rocket launcher and a pulse laser. I'm not sure if these are going to be useful on this ship, because it's not really going to be that maneuverable. So what I'm thinking is to have quite a few projectile turrets, rocket turrets, laser turrets. And I think you can have a maximum of 2 artillery turrets. So I'm kind of thinking maybe we'll mount a couple of artillery turrets on here as well, just to see how things go. And just to give you a bit of an update of the stats, we're already up to 887,000, and I'm just about to push that up by quite a big figure. Because if we're going to get this ship to fly, what I'm going to need to do is come into, I don't want the toaster, I want the MCRM Pioneer. We're going to have to put a couple of these big rear thrusters on. I'm only going to put 2 on, I think. So, these are big, and this isn't going to be the final position. It's just I just want to mount them. So let's go. And the other thing I've also done is I've moved some of these oxygen tanks around the back and put a couple of extras on. And I think we'll just put 2 of these on like that. I mean, not exactly lined up, but I think we're going to fly, because I'm pretty sure this ship is not going to win any awards for maneuverability at the moment. And the other thing I've also done is, if I come in here, you'll see I've had to take off the SVs so that I could dock the capital vessel properly to the ship. And looking at this, I think what we might need to do is bring out another layer of blocks out here, make the landing deck a bit wider. And what I'm thinking is that we're going to shape this area in as well, so that we can have a front here. And the other option I'm thinking, based on what Mark said, is that what I'll probably do is put some extra oxygen and fuel tanks up the front of the ship to give me a backup. So should the machine room get taken out, we can have you could call a backup machine room here on an armored front. So that's something else I'm thinking of. So we're just going to come in here. There's not much left in the toaster now. And we're going to jump on. One thing we are going to need is, I can't remember if we've actually put any fuel in the toaster. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, we got 12% fuel. I put any pentaxid in? Maybe it's an even better question, isn't it? Better put some pentaxid in, because we're going to do a warp jump. We're going to go right for it. Constructor out. Put some pentaxid in. I think we put about 150. Actually, let's put 200 in. It's a good place to store it. I'm just going to jump in the ship, and we're going to fire up. Thrusters on. I suppose we better see if this thing will fly. Yeah, that helps. The shields. Turn the shields off. We won't be able to warp drive. So let's just try this out. So, well, we got a tiny little bit of lateral movement, a little bit up, and not much down. And let's see if we can start to move forward a bit. See if we can actually turn this ship. It's not exactly going to be win awards for maneuverability. And the other thing I want to show you before we actually take off is just come back in here. I must admit, I didn't realise that they'd actually improved the stats on here now. So you actually get an idea of the maximum speed that you can get, 100 meters per second, the lift, and the amount of tonnage you can shift now. So they've actually really enhanced this stats window here with your ship's performance. You can see you get the yaw and the pitch as well. So I think this is going to be very useful going forward. You can see I've got 109 meganewtons in most directions. I think we've got 145 stopping. Of course, we've got a massive 384 push. So hopefully that is going to be able to allow us to do the the actual warp drive. I think we gotta be able to try and aim for this one here. Get out maximum speed. Will this let me do it? Yeah, wow, it worked. So here we are. We are in this new system. It looks like it's a red planet. I was about to say I will send out a scan, but of course I can't. What we'll do is we'll just turn off the inertia. We're about 7 kilometers away from the planet. It looks like it's actually ringed in some kind of asteroid. It'd be really great if there was lots of resources out here. We're just going to build up speed. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to fly in closer to the planet so we can get this into some form of geostationary orbit. I can't see how far away from the planet we actually are. And I'll be right back once I actually get there. Right, I think we've probably got close enough. I don't really want to enter the atmosphere by accident with this, because this ship will probably pancake down really badly. I think we'll just drop here. It says we're a little bit too close. I'd like to be about 2,000 meters away. So we'll just go up a little bit more. Get to about 1,700 meters above the planet. I think I'll be happy with that. There we are. So just gonna come in here. Of course, we're going to turn the thrusters off because there's I can't use 1% fuel. Just maneuvering there. This ship is going to be very expensive to fly. What I'm really going to have to try and do is come up with some logic or something which will allow me to switch off those big thrusters. Actually, let's just have a look at the textures. Wow. That's a little bit overpowering. I think we're going to have to do something about that. Yeah, I've got a bit of a kind of glowing ceiling, which is a bit too bright. Let's have a look in the other rooms just to see how the texture's going. This one's pretty bright, but I think I could live with this. Here. Oh, the other thing I've also done is, if I come in around the back here, I've actually put a wireless connector around the back here. I've got a feeling I'm probably going to need 2 or 3 overall, because that connector doesn't actually extend all the way to the bow of the ship. And in here, oh, this is pretty dull anyway. So yeah, we're going to have to... just to show you here, of course, we're going to need the signal logic for the hangar doors. I've done a bit more texturing in here, and I've put the armoured windows in as well. I think that lighting actually works. I think that looks pretty good. And we'll just check in here. Again, it's a little bit overpowering. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to redo the ceilings. Except in here. I'm just turning the power off now. Yes. The next thing we're going to need to do is get the capital vessel off the ship and dock back one of the SVs, because what I would like to do is go down and check out the planet and see how things go. I think the first thing we're going to do is undock the I think the first thing we're going to do is undock the Pioneer, because we can't dock to this until it's actually undocked from the other ship. I'm really hoping Empyrion will fix this going forward so that you can have multiple dockings, because it's a little bit of a pain in the neck having to keep moving ships and joining them back to join the combination back together again. So we're just going to turn... I left the power on. That's not good. And what we're going to do is just undock, move away. Not too far, so I've got to fly back to the ship. Oops, maybe that's a little bit too cozy. Because we've got to come out the entrance. Let's go. Actually, let's just come back this way. And probably the easiest way would be to go out this way. An entrance. What I have to do is just get back into here. I'm also thinking about putting a lip along here, so that there's like a little bit of a shelf on here. That's what I could do, is have one single shelf and then come out maybe too wide here. Wow, why am I so hot? I must have been in front of some thrusters. Okay. Oops. That's not gonna do anything, is it? We have to open this one. I'd rather go out forwards than backwards. We're gonna need some more fuel. I don't think I put any fuel in the toaster. I've started renaming some of these, but after be using them a little while, I think I might need to have a bit of a rethink. Pioneer, constructor out. Look at that, wow. I'm really going to go through the fuel, and we're going to have to do something about that. Power on. And we should be able to fly out this way. Yep, thank you. And we're just going to... So we're only going to take the one SV with us. Let's just dock here. Definitely turn the power off now. I think it's probably due to... I'm probably trying to landmark something that it doesn't like. That's better. I mean, I've accidentally marked the hover tank, but it should work. I'm just gonna... turn the jetpack off. Pick the crops up to keep everything going. Wow. For some reason I've just picked the fruit over there. This is pre-harvest. I mean, it's got vegetables on it, so it should be okay. Yeah, the textures with the grain seem to be a little bit odd, but just put that. Oops, don't want toaster. Raw food. Just put that there. That there. What is gold ore doing in my thing? Right up. Player. Yeah, I'm open to suggestions for a name for the carrier. Because I don't want to keep calling it the toaster, because it won't be long before it is no longer the toaster. We've got power on. So we've got thrusters. And we're just going to go down to the planet. See what type of lovely planet we've got down here. I mean, at least it's not green. I suppose that's one saving grace. The planet looks pretty rough though. Of course we can throw out a scan. Didn't do a scan in space actually. Lots of resources. There's something a bit rare over there. That might be our first target, although there's a... Let's make it a little bit closer there. Just have a look on the map. Wow, this is a big planet. This is going to be fun. Well, actually, what is the stats on this planet? Minus 200 plus 300 degrees? I think I might need to look at my armor and see what type of protection I've got. I think we'll just check out this resource first. Actually, I still didn't check to know what resources we got here. Got more estrum, zirconium. Certainly want the zirconium. Copper, cobalt, silicon. We certainly want the promethium. Gold, but no magnesium. Well, I suppose that's the way it goes. Let's get down within level 600. Got a small zirconium deposit there. Looks like it's in a bit of an awkward place to land with the capital vessel. So I don't think we'll bother with that just yet. I don't know, maybe I could... There's a bit of flat ground just over there. So if I can find a flat place for the ship to land, and then I can just use the SV. That looks pretty flat. And we've got to venture outside sometimes, so we'll just turn that off. I think we'll just check the armor configuration. I think we'll just check the armor configuration and see what we've got. Also gonna need some oxygen. Been going through a phenomenal amount of oxygen, so we really need to deploy our water generator, but I didn't see any water on this planet. So we're just going to come here, food. We may need to go back to the starter planet and mine some ice, I think. We got that there. Yeah, what's it? Armor, isn't it? I'm checking. So my temperature range at the moment is minus 203 to 47. Right, we need the radiation protection. So I think, well, we're not really getting into any battles, so if I put that in, it gives me protection to 100 degrees centigrade. And I don't have any more temperature protection because I've sold a lot of it. That'll teach me, won't it? I think we're just going to get scrape by with the 100-degree protection. Actually, sorry, I keep flashing into the map. So the atmosphere is not breathable, so we're going to have to watch our oxygen, and the radiation is 12.3. We do definitely need the radiation protection. But I certainly would like the zirconium. Just going to jump in the ship, power up. There's the zirconium there. We're just going to get down and of course we'll have to keep an eye out and see what nasties are on this planet. Like that's just about it, so we'll land here. Turn the power off. I hit myself think as well like this. Okay, well, radiation and the outside temperature is 85 degrees. I think I'd rather operate from inside the ship, so I'm just going to give myself a little bit of a shove. And of course we're going to have to hook to here. What have I got a multi-tool in here? I'm just going to go find the zirconium. Wow, this is deep. There's the zirconium. So we're just going to dig this out. So here we are, we just got a little bit more zirconium to mine, and while I was actually mining this I was thinking I need to get as much of this zirconium from the planet as possible, simply because zirconium is a key ingredient of the heavy weapons you need for a capital vessel. So let me just see if we jump into there. We'll just, yeah, I know. Yeah, we've got all that, so we're just going to jump into there. Where's the ship? There it is. And what I've just done is probably a pretty good example of how I was mining out the planet off camera. Obviously, effectively bringing in the capital vessel, landing it in a nice flat area, and then using the SV to do the overall mining. Except for on a few rare occasions when I was able to put the capital vessel down right on top of the resource. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Wrong one. Oh, I already powered off the Merc. And just to show you, we got 351 zirconium alloy from that, so that's not too bad. The other thing I actually want as well, let me just get back inside before. Just gonna get into here. I think one thing I do need is what we call it. Just cancel that. Change to there. Go there. I think I've run out of cores. Now I've got one left. So we probably need to get a couple more cores. And the other thing I also need to do is actually move the core on the toaster as well. That's on my list of things to do. I think what we'll do is we'll just flip the switch there, jump there. And I'm aware time is pushing on with this video. So probably just to finish this video off, we'll go up and check out the question mark and see whether that's a crash ship or not. So here we are, we're coming up and it looks very much like it is a crash ship. So we'll do is, I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but the Pioneer seems to be a little bit sluggish. I think we'll just, yeah, we got a crash transport front. Now this doesn't tend to be much of a rich source of resources, but I wouldn't mind kind of taking it apart primarily just for the steel plates. I mean, it's hardly worth a core, I think, but done it again. Wait, stop doing that. Turn that off and just pick up a core. Structure out, okay. Oh, we got one core there, so put that on there. Oh, I can hear. You have a feeling there's something outside that's a little bit unpleasant. Yeah, there's a little bit of a jump there as well. There's two of them. Hello, guys. Actually, it might be better if I actually do this from the rear of the ship. So let's just go this way. If I stand about over here, and then technically once I get out of range, that should close and give me protection and keep out the bug uglies. Looks like there's some tier 2 fuel tanks in here, so we'll just call that up. Yeah, you can see there's not much here. There's only one cargo box. Oh, I've gone through a lot of multi-tools charges, so we got an ammo box as well. Some 155mm, so we can put that in the, well, that's new. So we got a closet and a laser rifle. Anything else here? What's got? We got one fuel tank. Yeah, I had a fit. Yeah, say this version. This one is not very worth that much. But what we can do is, I'll just take that fuel tank. Actually, is there any fuel in this thing? Look back, we got a little bit of fuel. 127. Probably won't be able to get the fuel out. Oh, we got 7 out. I certainly wouldn't mind retrieving the fuel tank. I think the rest were just scrap for plates. So we're just going to go around here. And I'll probably do this the quick way, because I say it's not worth that much. So we'll just chop it into sections. Aha! And it does help if you actually do the necessary hook as well. Come here, pick up that. Okay. I think we'll just salvage. Just chop through that. And just chop the through here. Now, I am working very close to the ship, so I'll make sure that I don't accidentally disassemble my own ship. It's very easily done when you're flying around with the drone. Just, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I seriously doubt there's much underground as well, so I don't think it's going to be worth actually. Just take these steel plates. It's all steel plates anyway. Again, I don't think this actually has much in the way of armored blocks or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop through this ship here like this. Amazing though. That out. Okay, I've just had a major collapse, but that's not a big problem as long as I can get it all before it de-reses. I think that's about it. Grab that. Whoops. Oops. Bit more chopped off. Oops. Looks like the core was holding everything together. Never mind. I think that is about it. We've just got a little bit more here laying around. We're just going to pick this up. And there we are. One crash ship duly disassembled. Looks like there's a little bit still there as well. And just to give you a bit of an update. So what do we get from that? We got nearly 4,000 steel plates and a little bit of other odds and ends as well. Got some destroyed blocks. I'm just going to trash those because I'm not going to really be able to do anything with them. I should have scrapped them. And I think that is about it. I am a little bit inclined to go and deal with our friends outside if I can see them. There they are. There we are. I mean, they're not that good for loot, but oh, there's another one over there as well. So a little bit of taxid. He's a little bit far away. Let's jump back up into the ship. just come in here and I can enjoy my refined pentaxid raw food. Got a little bit of meat. Oops, no. I think just to wind the video up, just do a little bit more investigation, and then that would be it. Yeah, crash transport fronts, and we'll just set a waypoint. Done. So I know that I don't need to come back to this one, and I think we'll just fly in this direction and just see what these resources are. A gold deposit. Wow, this is pretty rough terrain, isn't it? And that's actually down. Do I want gold? We could make some money from it. I'm not convinced. Yeah, I think this would be what we're going to need to do is find somewhere to land. Okay. Wow. Okay, maybe not there. Maybe we'll just move back a little bit. It's a kind of open patch there. I think that's okay. Ship canted over a little bit when I actually stood up. I'm just going to have a burger. Got 17 radiation now. Looks like there might be some other odds and ends down here worth checking out. So most things, wow. Yeah, well, it's worth saying that have to connect to that instead. This looks pretty singularly uninviting. And that's actually a legacy as well. So we're just going to move forward a smidge. 99. I think that's probably about the best we can do. I'm just going to stand up here. Turn the power off. Wow, 135 degrees centigrade. This is going to be interesting. Okay, round the back. In. Jump in. Can't afford to hang around outside here too long. That's probably the easiest way to do this is jump in here, jump out there. Turn round. Go there. And then just shoving into the hole. And down we go again. Of course, the gold is actually nodules, so it makes it a bit easier to mine. And what I should do is really call these nuggets. This is the way to mine gold. I think that is about it. Let's just have a look. Yep. 15 radiation. Oh, what's that there? That looks very much like cobalt. Okay, well I thought it was magnesium, but anything, we'll take it. Silicon bearing rock. Okay. Don't really need to do this, so jetpack on. On in the ship. Power on. And let's have a quick look. So So we got 209 gold from that. Because we got a little bit more pentaxid from the overseer. And we'll just shove that in the fridge so it doesn't spoil. And I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, I think we will carry on exploring the planet, seeing if we can get the resources to carry on working on the carrier. Because I've got a few ideas about what I want to do, but sometimes when you're doing a really big project, it pays to stop and then come back to it with fresh eyes. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.